Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Today we're taking a look at something that could totally change the way you think about money.
Right.
The Financial Logic channel.
Right.
So imagine a place where all those complex financial concepts you hear about, they're broken down into bite-sized pieces that anyone can understand.
Totally.
Suddenly, budgeting, investing, even starting a side hustle doesn't seem so daunting anymore.
It makes it way less intimidating.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got research notes, articles about the channel, even some viewer feedback.
Really interesting stuff.
Yeah. So let's start with the big picture.
Okay.
What's the overall mission of this channel?
So from what I've seen, their main goal is to empower people.
Okay.
To really take charge of their finances.
Makes sense.
And they focus on three key things.
Okay. Let's hear them.
First, they want boost financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
Like making sure people have the basic knowledge to make smart decisions. Second is all about helping people make informed decisions.
So not just knowing the facts, but knowing how to apply them?
That's exactly it.
Okay.
And finally, they want to set people up for long-term success.
I like that.
Not just quick fixes, but sustainable habits.
Yeah, it's not about getting rich quick. It's about building a solid foundation.
You got it.
I love that it's not just about throwing numbers at you.
Right.
It's about giving you the tools to actually understand and manage your own money.
Yeah. And they cover a seriously wide range of topics.
Okay. Like what?
You name it. Budgeting, saving, investing, managing debt planning for retirement, even entrepreneurship and side hustles.
Wow. So it's not just for beginners?
Nope, not at all.
There's something there for people at all stages of their financial journey.
Absolutely.
That's impressive.
And one thing I found really interesting is their focus on mindset and motivation.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So they recognize that finances aren't just about numbers, you know.
It's not just about crunching numbers in a spreadsheet.
Right? There's a huge psychological component too.
Yeah, for sure.
They dive into topics like overcoming fear or anxiety around money.
It's so real for a lot of people.
And then things like building healthy financial habits.
Okay.
So it's a more holistic approach.
I think that's crucial because our emotions and beliefs about money can really affect our financial decisions.
Totally agree with you there.
It's like if you believe you're bad with money or that you'll never be wealthy, those beliefs can actually hold you back.
They become self-fulfilling prophecies almost.
Yeah, exactly. So addressing those underlying beliefs is super important.
They tackle that head on.
Okay, so they're not just about theory.
Oh, no.
They also give practical advice.
Oh, tons of it.
Like what?
For example, when it comes to budgeting, they offer really practical tips on cutting down unnecessary spending.
We all have those little expenses that add up.
And they even suggest specific tools like the You Need a Budget app
I've heard of that one.
to help automate your savings.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Right. Set it and forget it.
I love that kind of automation makes it so much easier
Totally.
because it takes the willpower out of the equation.
Exactly. Willpower is not always reliable.
Okay, so budgeting, saving. What about investing?
They cover that in depth too.
That's one area where I think a lot of people feel intimidated.
Yeah, it can be a little overwhelming.
So how do they make it approachable?
They start with the basics.
Yeah.
You know, explaining things like stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Okay, so they assume you know nothing.
Right.
Which is great because I think a lot of people are afraid to admit they don't know the basics.
Exactly. They meet people where they're at.
And then they even define what a diversified portfolio is.
Yeah, that's an important concept.
It is, and it's not always clear what it means.
So they break it down, spreading your investments across different asset classes to manage risk.
Makes sense.
So it's not about putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
Exactly. And then they emphasize the importance of setting smart financial goals.
Okay, I've heard that acronym before.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound.
Oh, right. So it's about having a clear roadmap for your financial future.
Not just vague ideas.
Like, I want to be rich someday.
Exactly. They help you break it down into actionable steps.
Much more effective.
Way more effective.
And they even offer advice on managing debt.
Yeah, nobody likes being in debt.
No one.
But it's a reality for many people.
So how do they approach that topic?
They provide strategies for prioritizing high-interest loans.
So you're not just throwing money at the problem randomly.
You're tackling the most damaging debt first.
Okay.
And they talk about avoiding those nasty debt traps.
Like those payday loans that can just bury you?
Yeah. Exactly.
Scary stuff.
They also cover financial planning for long-term goals.
Okay, like what?
Saving for retirement, buying a house, maybe funding a dream vacation.
Those big life goals.
Exactly.
So they're not just about managing day-to-day finances.
Nope, they help you think about the long game.
I like that, Matt.
And they show you how to set those smart goals we talked about to actually make those dreams a reality.
Okay, so they really cover the spectrum.
They really do.
From basic budgeting to those big, ambitious goals.
It's pretty comprehensive.
Now, this is the part that really piques my interest. Entrepreneurship and side hustles.
Oh, yeah, they get into that, too.
I love that because it's about creating opportunities.
Absolutely.
And building a more secure financial foundation.
Totally.
So what kind of things do they explore in that area?
They talk about starting a small business, generating passive income,
Okay, so multiple streams of income.
Exactly.
So it's not just relying on one job.
Right. Diversify your income streams.
I love that approach. It's about expanding your options and taking control.
You got it.
Okay, so it's not just lectures and spreadsheets.
Oh, no, they get creative.
What makes their content unique?
Well, they use different formats to keep things engaging.
Okay, like what?
You've got tutorials, animated explainers, even live Q&A sessions with financial experts.
Interesting.
They bring in budgeting templates, investment calculators, all that practical stuff.
So it's not just theoretical.
Not at all. It's very hands-on.
They give you the tools to actually apply what you learn.
Exactly. That's the key.
Okay, so what about the people behind the channel?
That's a good question.
Do we know anything about their background?
Our sources don't really dive into that.
Interesting.
But it's clear they have a really deep understanding of these concepts and a passion for making it all accessible.
That definitely comes across in their content.
For sure.
So who do you think their target audience is?
That's what's interesting. It seems to be for everyone.
Really?
Yeah, regardless of where they are in their financial journey. Whether you're a complete beginner, never even made a budget, or you're a seasoned investor.
Yeah.
There's something here for you.
So it's like a one-size-fits-all approach?
Yeah, but in a good way. Like they're saying, no matter your starting point, we can help you take the next step.
I like that.
And they talk about the importance of financial literacy.
Okay.
Not just for individuals, but for families, communities, and even the economy as a whole.
That's a good point.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's not just about personal gain.
Right.
It's about creating a more stable and prosperous society.
Exactly.
So everyone benefits.
In the long run, yes.
Okay, so we've talked about their mission, the range of topics they cover, and their unique approach to making finances engaging.
We've covered a lot.
We have, but let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
What are the actual benefits of watching this channel?
Well, first and foremost, it's about gaining knowledge.
Makes sense.
And feeling confident in making those financial decisions.
So not just knowing what to do, but actually feeling empowered to do it.
That's it.
Okay.
Instead of feeling overwhelmed or intimidated by money.
Which is how a lot of people feel, I think.
It's a common feeling.
You start to understand how it works.
And that can lead to better financial management. You'll be equipped to create a realistic budget, track your expenses, save effectively, even invest wisely.
So it's not just theory. It's about seeing real results.
Exactly, tangible results.
And I imagine that can lead to improvements in overall well-being.
Oh, definitely.
When you're not stressed about money.
It takes a huge weight off your shoulders.
And you feel more secure about your financial future.
That peace of mind is priceless.
It really is.
And beyond those tangible benefits, there's also a sense of empowerment and independence.
I like that.
You're not relying on others to make financial decisions for you.
You're calling the shots.
You're in the driver's seat.
Shaping your own financial destiny.
Exactly.
And that can boost your self-esteem.
It can have a ripple effect across your whole life.
It's about taking control.
Yeah.
And building a future that feels secure and fulfilling.
That's a great way to put it.
It's not just about the money itself.
Right. It's about what the money represents.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Security, opportunity.
All of those things.
Okay, so far we've been pretty positive.
It's hard not to be with this channel.
But let's be realistic. Are there any potential downsides?
Good point. It's important to consider that.
Are there risks or drawbacks to relying solely on a channel like this?
Well, one risk is information overload.
Okay.
They cover so much ground.
They do.
Especially if you're new to personal finance. It could feel overwhelming.
It's like drinking from a fire hose, so how do you avoid that?
Pace yourself, focus on the areas that are most relevant to you right now.
Don't try to learn everything at once.
Exactly.
Good advice.
And remember, this channel offers general information and guidance.
Okay.
It's not a substitute for personalized financial advice.
So if you have complex questions or need tailored guidance,
it's best to consult with a qualified financial advisor.
Someone who can look at your specific situation.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a great starting point.
A great foundation.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
You got it.
And while they strive to be unbiased,
right,
it's important to remember everyone has their own financial philosophy and biases, including the creators of the channel.
Of course.
So it's always smart to do your own research, consider different perspectives, and critically evaluate any financial advice.
Don't blindly follow anyone.
Especially before making any major decisions.
Absolutely. Think for yourself.
Okay, so it's about using this channel as a tool.
Yeah.
But not as the only tool
right,
in your financial toolbox.
Exactly.
And another important thing to remember, the financial world is constantly changing.
Oh, it's a dynamic landscape.
So what worked yesterday might not work today.
Exactly. You got to stay informed.
Stay adaptable.
And be willing to adjust your strategies.
It's like a lifelong learning process.
When it comes to finances, absolutely.
So the Financial Logic channel is a valuable resource.
It is.
But it's not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's up to each individual to take ownership of their financial literacy.
And make informed decisions.
Based on their own unique circumstances.
Totally.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits, the potential downsides. But let's flip the script for a moment.
Okay.
What are some things they could improve or expand upon?
Good question. I think one area is content tailored to specific demographics.
So, for example, they could have episodes for young adults just starting out, families with children, retirees planning for their later years.
Each group has unique challenges and opportunities.
It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Right.
And it would be great to see more content addressing the financial challenges faced by different communities.
Like financial literacy for women, minorities, LGBTQ+ individuals.
Recognizing that different groups may face specific barriers.
Absolutely.
And have unique opportunities.
It's about inclusivity and recognizing those nuances.
And while they cover basic investing concepts, they could maybe go deeper into more advanced investment strategies.
Like real estate investing, alternative investments, even cryptocurrency.
Okay, that's getting into more specialized territory.
Right. But there's definitely an audience for that.
And more interactive tools would be cool.
Yeah, like personalized budgeting software, investment simulator.
Maybe even a forum.
Oh, yeah.
Where viewers can connect and share experiences.
Build a community around financial learning.
I like that idea a lot.
Powerful to connect with others.
Who are on the same journey.
Absolutely.
Okay, and finally, I think they could do more to promote financial literacy beyond their channel.
Get out into the real world.
Partner with schools, community organizations, even businesses, to offer financial education workshops or seminars.
Spread the knowledge far and wide.
Exactly. The more we can spread financial literacy,
the better off everyone will be.
It's a win-win.
For sure.
Okay, so the Financial Logic channel.
Yeah.
It's a valuable resource.
It is.
But there's always room for growth and improvement.
Like anything.
And it's exciting to think about all the ways they could evolve.
Yeah.
And empower people to take control of their financial lives.
It's a powerful mission.
It is.
And they're making a real difference.
Absolutely.
It's inspiring to see.
It is. And it's a reminder that financial education is an ongoing process.
It's a journey.
We should all be striving to learn and grow in this area.
Throughout our lives.
Well said.
Cheers to that.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
A lot.
But I want to shift gears slightly and talk about the broader implications of the Financial Logic channel's work.
The bigger picture.
Exactly. What does their success say about the current state of financial education?
That's a good question. I think it highlights a growing hunger.
Okay.
For accessible and engaging financial education.
Like people are realizing that the old ways, like dry textbooks or complicated financial jargon.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's just not cutting it anymore.
People want something different.
And I think it also speaks to a shift in mindset.
How so?
People are becoming more proactive about their finances, taking ownership of their financial well-being.
Instead of just letting things happen.
Yeah, they want to understand how money works.
Right.
And make informed decisions.
In control.
Exactly. And I think the Financial Logic channel is tapping into that desire for knowledge and empowerment.
Sure.
So it's not just about filling a gap in information.
Right.
It's about meeting a need for a new approach to financial education.
People are ready for something different.
And I think their success is a positive sign.
What do you mean?
It shows that people are ready and willing to learn about money if it's presented in a way that's engaging.
It's accessible.
It's not that people don't want to learn about finances. It's that they haven't had the right tools or resources until now.
The Financial Logic channel is proving it can be fun, engaging,
and even life-changing.
It's about time we change the narrative around money.
Money shouldn't be this mysterious, intimidating thing that we avoid talking about.
I agree. It should be something we can discuss openly and confidently.
Absolutely. It's a fundamental part of our lives.
It affects every aspect of our lives.
And we should all feel empowered to understand it.
Right.
And manage it effectively.
Well said.
Okay, so we've talked about the channel's mission, their content, the impact they're having, and even what their success says about the current state of financial education.
A lot of ground covered.
But I want to end this part of our deep dive by focusing on you, the listener.
Right.
What are some key takeaways you can apply to your own financial journey?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that financial literacy is within your reach.
It's not just for the wealthy or the financially savvy.
It's for everyone.
There are resources out there.
Like the Financial Logic channel.
That can help you understand even the most complex financial concepts.
You don't have to be an expert.
You just have to be willing to learn.
And it's never too late to start.
Whether you're just beginning your career or planning for retirement.
There's always something new to discover.
And remember, financial literacy is a journey.
Not a destination.
It's an ongoing process.
Of learning.
Yeah.
Growing.
And adapting.
To the ever-changing financial landscape.
The world of money is always evolving.
It is.
So we have to stay adaptable.
Absolutely.
And don't be afraid to seek help or guidance along the way.
There are so many resources available.
Financial advisors, mentors, online communities.
Yeah, there's a wealth of support out there.
It's about building a support system, finding people who can help you achieve your goals.
And celebrate your wins along the way.
Yeah, those wins are important.
They keep you motivated.
And finally, remember financial well-being. It's about more than just money.
It's about living a life that's aligned with your values.
And your goals.
So don't let money control you.
Take control of your money.
Use it as a tool to build the life you want.
Well said.
It's your life. Design it the way you want.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a great discussion.
But I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
The Financial Logic channel offers a wealth of information and resources, but it's up to you to take action.
Don't just consume the content.
Apply it to your own life.
Make a budget. Start investing. Explore a side hustle.
Whatever it takes to move you closer to your financial goals.
Take those steps.
And remember, financial literacy is not just about personal gain.
Right.
It's about building a stronger and more resilient society for everyone.
We all benefit when more people are financially savvy.
So go out there, make a difference, one financial decision at a time.
I love that.
Okay, that's it for part 1 of our deep dive into the Financial Logic channel.
Great stuff.
We've covered a ton of information, but there's still so much more to explore.
I'm excited for the next part.
Me too. Make sure you come back for part 2, or we'll delve into even more detail about the specific content and resources this channel has to offer.
Sounds good.
See you soon.
See you then.
Welcome back, everyone.
Glad to be here.
So in that first part, we laid the groundwork, explored that big picture mission, and the impact of the Financial Logic channel.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready to get into the details.
Let's do it.
What can we actually learn from this channel?
Well, the cool thing is they cover a really wide range of topics.
Okay.
So no matter where you are on your financial journey, they've got something for you.
Let's break it down.
Okay.
We talked earlier about budgeting and saving.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people struggle.
It's true. It can feel overwhelming, especially if you've never really tracked your spending or created a budget before.
It's like, where do you even start?
Right. But the Financial Logic channel makes it approachable.
Okay, how so?
They guide you through the process, step by step.
Okay.
Showing you how to track your expenses, identify areas where you might be overspending, and then create a budget that actually works for your lifestyle.
It's like having a personal finance coach in your pocket. I remember when I first started budgeting, I used a simple spreadsheet. Do they offer any specific tools or resources like that?
Oh, yeah. They often recommend specific budgeting apps that can help automate the process.
I love automation.
One they often mention is called You Need a Budget, or YND for short.
Okay.
It's great for tracking your spending, setting financial goals, and making sure your money's going where you want it to go.
So you're not just mindlessly swiping your credit card.
Right. You're being intentional with your spending.
Okay, so they don't just tell you what to do, they give you the tools to actually do it.
That's the key.
And what about saving?
Yeah, saving is crucial.
Any tips or tricks beyond just spend less?
One thing they emphasize is automating your savings.
We talked about automation before. I like that.
So that way you don't have to rely on willpower alone.
Willpower is not always reliable.
They recommend setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account every month.
Makes sense.
Even if it's just a small amount, it adds up over time, especially when you factor in compound interest.
Compound interest, that's the magic word.
It really is like the eighth wonder of the world.
Right.
The Financial Logic channel does a great job of explaining this concept.
Break it down for us.
Basically, it means that your money earns interest on your initial investment, and then that interest earns interest, and so on.
It's like a snowball effect.
Exactly. Your savings grow exponentially over time.
So the earlier you start, the better.
The more time that snowball has to roll and grow.
I wish I had known that when I was younger.
Me too. We all do.
They also talk about having an emergency fund.
So
A
important.
lot of people overlook that.
They do. But it's crucial to have that financial cushion.
Right, for those unexpected expenses.
Like a car repair or a medical bill.
Or even job loss.
Oh, exactly.
You never know what life's going to throw at you.
Having that safety net can really reduce stress and help you avoid going into debt.
Okay, speaking of debt, that's a big one for a lot of people.
It is a major source of stress for many.
What kind of guidance do they offer on managing and eliminating debt?
They provide a lot of practical advice.
Like what?
They start by helping you understand the different types of debt,
Okay.
like credit card debt, student loans, mortgages.
They all have their own quirks.
They do. And they talk about interest rates,
Mm-hmm.
how high interest debt can snowball and become a huge burden.
If you're only making minimum payments
You're barely making a dent.
and you're just racking up more interest.
It's like you're digging yourself deeper into a hole.
Not a fun place to be.
So they emphasize creating a debt payoff plan.
Okay.
One popular strategy they talk about is the debt snowball method,
I've heard of that.
where you focus on paying off your smallest debts first
Okay.
to gain momentum and build motivation.
So you get those quick wins,
Exactly.
which keeps you going.
It's a psychological trick, but it works.
I like that.
They also talk about the debt avalanche method.
Where you prioritize the highest interest rates.
That's right.
So you're saving money in the long run.
Exactly. But the best method really depends on your individual circumstances and personality.
Some people are motivated by different things.
They provide a toolbox of strategies, and you can choose what works best for you.
I like that approach.
They also offer tips on negotiating with creditors,
Oh, that's a good one.
which can be really helpful if you're struggling to make payments.
It's like, don't be afraid to ask for help or for a better deal.
Right.
They even talk about things like balance transfers and debt consolidation loans
Those can be helpful tools.
to lower your interest rates and simplify your debt repayment.
It's all about finding the right strategies to make your debt more manageable.
Okay, so we've covered budgeting, saving, debt management.
We're hitting all the major bases.
Now let's talk investing.
Okay.
That's where things can get a little more complex.
It can seem intimidating, but they break it down into bite-sized pieces.
How so?
They start with the fundamentals, explaining what stocks, bonds, and mutual funds are and how they work. They explain the concept of a diversified portfolio, which essentially means spreading your investments across different asset classes to manage risk.
So not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
They talk about things like asset allocation, which is deciding how much of your portfolio to allocate to different types of investments.
Okay, so you're creating a mix that aligns with your goals and your risk tolerance.
That's right.
And they even get into more advanced concepts like dollar cost averaging.
Oh, yeah, that's a great strategy.
What is that?
It's where you invest a fixed amount of money at regular intervals, regardless of the market's ups and downs.
So you're not trying to time the market.
Right. It's a more disciplined approach.
And it helps you ride out those market fluctuations.
It takes the emotion out of investing.
Okay, I like that.
Do they talk about different types of investment accounts?
That would be helpful.
They do. They cover things like 401k, IRAs, even taxable brokerage accounts.
Okay.
They explain the pros and cons of each and how to choose the right one for your needs.
So they really cover the full spectrum of investing, from the basics to more advanced strategies.
It's a pretty comprehensive overview.
Now, this is the part that really piques my curiosity: entrepreneurship and side hustles.
Oh, yeah. That's a hot topic these days.
I think a lot of people are looking for ways to generate income.
Outside of a traditional 9-to-5 job.
Exactly. So what kind of insights do they offer in this area?
They explore a variety of ways to generate income outside of that traditional job.
Okay.
They talk about starting a small business, freelancing, blogging, even investing in passive income streams,
Okay, like what?
like rental properties or dividend-paying stocks,
It's about creating multiple streams of income.
which can provide financial stability and freedom.
And they don't just gloss over the surface, right?
No, they provide practical advice.
Like what?
Things like developing a business plan, marketing your products or services, and even managing the financial aspects of running a business.
So it's like they give you a roadmap for turning your entrepreneurial dreams into reality. Do they talk about any specific side hustles or business ideas?
They do. They feature stories of successful entrepreneurs and side hustlers, showcasing a diverse range of businesses and income-generating activities.
Okay.
They might talk about someone who started a successful Etsy shop or someone who built a thriving freelance writing business.
So they're showing real-life examples.
Real people doing real things.
I love that.
And they emphasize the importance of starting small,
Okay.
testing your ideas, and building your business gradually.
So you don't have to quit your job tomorrow
Right.
and become a millionaire overnight.
It's a process. It takes time.
It's about taking those small steps consistently.
And building momentum over time.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
From budgeting to investing to entrepreneurship.
But there's one more crucial element we need to discuss: mindset and motivation.
That's the foundation of it all.
This is something that really sets the Financial Logic channel apart, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. They recognize that our relationship with money is deeply personal. And it's often influenced by our beliefs, values, even past experiences.
Okay.
They talk about things like overcoming fear and anxiety around money, building confidence in your financial abilities, and developing a positive money mindset.
I think that's so important because our thoughts and beliefs about money can really affect our decisions and our outcomes.
They can become self-fulfilling prophecies.
If we believe we're not good with money or that we'll never be wealthy, those beliefs can hold us back.
They can sabotage our efforts.
So how do they address that?
They talk about how to shift those negative beliefs
Okay.
and create new, empowering beliefs about money.
Give me an example.
They might encourage viewers to create affirmations.
Okay, like I am worthy of financial abundance.
Exactly. Or visualizations that reinforce their financial goals.
So it's about creating a mental picture of success.
It's about rewiring your brain to think about money in a more positive and abundant way.
Do they have any specific episodes or series that focus on this?
They have a popular series called Financial Mindset Mastery. In that series, they delve into the psychological and emotional aspects of money.
I love that.
They might have an episode on overcoming limiting beliefs about money.
Okay.
Another one on developing a positive money mindset.
Those are great topics.
And maybe even an episode on the law of attraction.
Interesting.
And how to manifest financial abundance.
Okay, so they're bringing in elements of personal development and spirituality.
It's a holistic approach.
Right.
Recognizing that our financial well-being is connected to our overall well-being.
It's all connected.
And they offer practical tips and techniques.
So it's not just airy-fairy stuff.
No, it's about giving viewers actionable tools.
To change their relationship with money.
Money is energy. It's all about how we think about it and how we use it.
Okay, so we've explored the key themes covered by the Financial Logic channel.
We've gone pretty deep.
But I'm curious to know more about the actual content itself.
Okay.
Can you give us a sneak peek into what a typical episode might look like?
Sure. Let's say you're brand new to investing.
Yeah.
And you want to learn the ropes. You stumble across an episode titled Investing 101, A Beginner's Guide to Building Wealth.
Sounds like a good place to start.
What kind of information would they cover?
Yeah.
Well, they'd start by demystifying the jargon,
Okay.
explaining what stocks, bonds, and mutual funds actually are, how they work, the risks and rewards associated with each.
So they break it down in simple language.
They use clear analogies and make it easy to understand even if you have no prior knowledge.
So they're not just throwing around terms like PE ratio or dividend yield.
They explain what those things actually mean.
Right.
They might even use visuals like charts or graphs
Okay.
to illustrate these concepts.
I love visuals.
They might show a simple chart comparing the historical performance of stocks versus bonds, for example.
That makes it so much easier to understand.
And they'd likely introduce the idea of risk tolerance,
Oh,
which is basically how comfortable you are with the possibility of losing money on your investments.
right, because all investments carry some level of risk.
Exactly. And they explain that different investments carry different levels of risk. And your risk tolerance will play a role in determining which investments are right for you.
Okay, so they're not just saying go invest in the stock market.
Right.
They're actually helping viewers understand their own risk tolerance.
And make informed decisions based on their individual circumstances.
Well, I like that it's personalized.
They might even use a quiz or a self-assessment tool
Okay.
to help viewers gauge their own risk tolerance.
Interactive.
And they would also talk about diversification.
Spreading your investments.
Exactly.
Okay.
They might show a simple pie chart illustrating how a diversified portfolio might be allocated across different asset classes.
Like stocks, bonds, real estate.
Exactly.
Okay, so they're really painting a clear picture of what a diversified portfolio looks like.
And why it's important.
And then to bring it all together, they might end the episode with a hypothetical case study.
Oh, that's a good idea.
They might say, let's imagine a 30-year-old investor who's just starting to invest for retirement.
Based on their risk tolerance and financial goals, here's how we might allocate their portfolio.
So they're showing how these concepts can be applied in a real-world scenario.
Exactly. And of course, they'd provide links to additional resources.
Right, like articles, books, investment calculators, so viewers can continue learning.
It's not just a one-off episode. It's a gateway to a whole world of information.
What about other types of episodes?
It's all sorts.
Do they have any on budgeting?
Oh, yeah. They might have an episode titled Budgeting 101, How to Create a Budget That Doesn't Suck.
Now, that's a title I can get behind.
In that episode, they might walk you through creating a simple budget, using a spreadsheet or a budgeting app.
Okay.
They might talk about the 50-30-20 budgeting rule.
What's that?
It's a guideline that suggests allocating 50% of your income to needs,
Okay.
30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment.
Okay. That's a good framework.
It's a good starting point.
So it's a comprehensive guide to creating a budget that actually works for you. They might even have an episode on negotiating lower bills.
Oh, that's a great one.
Which can free up some extra cash in your budget.
You could save a lot of money by negotiating.
It's true. I've done it myself.
And they might have another episode on managing credit card debt.
Okay.
Where they share strategies for paying it down faster.
And avoiding common pitfalls.
Right, like overspending or using credit cards for impulse purchases.
It's easy to fall into those traps.
It's all about being mindful and having a plan.
So they're covering all the bases.
From the basic to the more advanced.
What about debt management?
They address that too.
I know a lot of people are struggling with student loan debt or credit card debt.
It's a major issue.
So what kind of guidance do they offer?
They might have an episode titled Debt-Free Journey, Strategies for Conquering Your Debt.
Catchy title.
In that episode, they might discuss different debt payoff methods.
Okay.
Like the snowball method and the avalanche method, which we talked about earlier.
Okay.
They might also talk about debt consolidation loans or balance transfers. They might even provide tips for negotiating with creditors.
Good advice.
And improving your credit score.
It's all connected.
It's all part of building a healthy financial foundation.
Okay, so it's a comprehensive guide to tackling debt and building a brighter financial future.
Exactly. They want to empower people to take control of their finances.
I love that.
And they might even have an episode on student loan forgiveness programs.
Oh, that's a big one.
It can be a lifesaver for some people.
Especially with student loan debt being such a huge burden for so many.
They try to cover all the angles.
Okay, and what about retirement planning?
They have episodes on that too.
I feel like that's something people put off thinking about.
It's easy to do, especially when you're young.
But the earlier you start, the better?
They emphasize that.
Okay.
They might discuss different retirement savings plans.
401ks, IRAs, and strategies for building a nest egg.
They might even show a chart illustrating the power of compound interest over time.
Compound interest is our friend.
It's your best friend when it comes to saving for retirement.
Okay, so they're really driving home the point of starting early.
And taking advantage of that compound growth.
Okay, what about estate planning?
They touch on that too.
That's another one that people don't like to think about.
It's not the most pleasant topic.
But it's important.
It is. It's about ensuring that your loved ones are taken care of.
After you're gone.
It's about having a plan in place.
Making sure your wishes are honored.
They really do cover it all.
It's impressive.
They're very thorough.
So what makes their content stand out?
Well, one thing is their use of visual aids.
Okay.
They incorporate a lot of charts, graphs, animations into their episodes.
So it's not just talking heads.
No, they make it visually appealing.
Which makes the information easier to digest.
Visuals can be so powerful.
And they use real-life examples and case studies.
To illustrate their points and make it more relatable.
It's not just abstract theory.
It's about connecting with people's lives.
And I love that they use humor.
They do. They make it fun.
Money can be such a serious topic.
It can be.
But they inject some lightheartedness.
Without trivializing the information.
That's a good balance.
They might crack a joke about budgeting.
Okay.
Or use a funny meme to illustrate a point about investing.
It just makes it more enjoyable.
They also use a variety of formats.
Okay.
To keep things fresh and engaging.
Like what?
They might have a straight-up tutorial on how to create a budget.
Okay.
And then the next episode might be a discussion with a financial expert on a hot topic like cryptocurrency.
So they're mixing it up.
They cater to different learning styles.
What about audience interaction?
They're active on social media.
Okay.
They encourage viewers to submit questions, share their experiences.
Okay.
They might even have live Q&A sessions.
So viewers can ask questions in real time.
It creates a sense of community.
People feel like they're part of a conversation.
Exactly.
And they use quizzes and polls.
Yeah, to test viewers' understanding.
Make it interactive.
They even offer downloadable resources, budgeting templates, checklists.
So you can actually apply what you're learning.
It's all about taking action.
They're really giving you a full toolbox.
A comprehensive suite of resources.
That's amazing.
And it's all free and easily accessible online.
That's incredible.
They're really committed to making financial education accessible to everyone.
So no excuses.
No excuses.
Okay, so we've talked about the format, the structure of their content.
Right.
Can you give us a sneak peek into some of their most popular episodes or series?
Sure. One of their most popular series is called Budgeting Basics.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a good starting point.
It is for anyone who's new to managing their money.
What do they cover in that series?
Everything from creating a budget to tracking your expenses to identifying areas where you can save money.
The essentials.
And they even have episodes specifically for couples, families, and students.
So they recognize that different people have different needs and challenges?
They try to cater to everyone.
Okay. What about investing?
They have a popular series called Investing for Beginners.
Okay, I can see why that would be popular.
A lot of people are intimidated by investing.
So how do they make it approachable?
They break down the basics,
Okay.
explaining different investment vehicles.
Like stocks, bonds, mutual funds.
Exactly.
Okay.
And how to build a diversified portfolio.
It's all about spreading that risk.
And they make it sound easy.
Which is important because I think a lot of people think investing is only for the wealthy or the financially savvy.
They break down those barriers.
Okay, what about debt?
They have a series called Debt-Free Journey.
Okay.
Where they share strategies for paying off debt faster, negotiating with creditors, and avoiding those common debt traps.
Those traps can be sneaky.
They are, but they give you the tools to avoid them.
So you can stay on track.
And achieve your financial goals.
Okay, what about side hustles?
They have a series called Side Hustle Secrets.
Love that title.
Where they explore different ways to generate income outside of a traditional job. They have episodes on freelancing, starting an online business, investing in real estate, all sorts of things.
It's inspiring.
It's about showing people the possibilities.
Okay. And we talked earlier about their Financial Mindset Mastery series.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Where they delve into the psychological and emotional aspects of money.
It's about changing your relationship with money from the inside out.
And they have tons of other content too, right?
They have a huge library of episodes covering so many different aspects of personal finance.
It's like a one-stop shop for financial education.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've explored some of their most popular series.
Yeah.
Now, are there any specific episodes that you would recommend?
Oh, there are so many good ones.
Give us a few.
Okay, if I had to choose just a few, I would recommend their episode on the 50-30-20 budget rule.
That's a classic.
It's a great starting point for anyone who's trying to get a handle on their finances.
They break it down in a really simple way.
With lots of examples. Another great episode is their one on compound interest. The eighth wonder of the world.
I love that they call it that.
It really is a wonder.
It's so powerful.
They explain how it works and why it's so important to start investing early.
So you can take advantage of that long-term growth.
Exactly.
Okay, what else?
I would also recommend their episode on the psychology of spending.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
It's all about understanding our spending habits.
And our triggers.
Right.
Okay, what kind of things do they talk about in that episode?
They delve into the emotional and psychological factors that influence our spending decisions.
Okay.
And they offer practical tips on how to overcome emotional spending.
Because that can be a big problem for a lot of people.
It can really derail your financial progress.
So they give you tools to deal with that.
They might talk about identifying your spending triggers.
Okay.
Creating a spending plan.
Uh-huh.
Finding alternative ways to cope with stress or boredom.
So it's about addressing the root causes of emotional spending.
Right. Not just trying to suppress it.
And finally, what's your last recommendation?
I would recommend their episode on how to negotiate like a pro.
That's a valuable skill.
It is in all areas of life.
So it's not just about money.
Right.
It's about getting what you want in any situation.
They give you tips and strategies for negotiating everything from salaries to bills to car purchases.
Wow.
They might talk about doing your research,
Okay.
knowing your worth, being assertive without being aggressive.
Those are great tips.
And all of these episodes are available for free on their website or their YouTube channel.
Fantastic. So we've got our homework cut out for us.
There's so much to learn.
I'm excited to check these out.
Me too.
Okay, so we've explored some of their most popular series and episodes.
Yeah.
But what are some of the criticisms or drawbacks of this channel?
That's a good question. It's always important to be critical.
Right. Even of a resource as valuable as this.
Exactly.
So what are some of the things they could improve on?
Well, one potential criticism is that they focus primarily on personal finance.
Okay.
And they don't delve much into broader economic or political issues.
Which can also impact our financial well-being.
Okay.
So, for example, they might not discuss things like inflation.
Or interest rates.
Or government policies.
That can affect the stock market or the cost of living.
So those are all things to be aware of.
It's important to stay informed about the bigger picture.
And while they do touch on investing and entrepreneurship, they tend to focus on more traditional approaches.
Right.
And might not explore more unconventional or alternative strategies.
So if you're interested in something more niche, you might need to look elsewhere.
Okay.
And while they have a diverse range of content, some viewers might find that certain topics are covered more extensively than others.
It depends on the creator's expertise.
And interests.
So if you're really interested in real estate investing, for example...
They might not have as much content on that.
Okay, that makes sense.
And as with any educational resource, it's important to remember that the information presented is based on the creator's research and opinions.
So do your own research?
Consider different perspectives.
Don't just blindly follow anyone's advice.
Especially when it comes to your money.
And the financial world is constantly changing.
What worked yesterday might not work today.
So you have to stay informed.
Be adaptable.
And be willing to adjust your strategies.
Exactly.
And some viewers might prefer a more personalized approach.
Right.
Like working one-on-one with a financial advisor.
So while the Financial Logic channel can provide valuable information,
it's not a substitute for tailored advice.
Professional.
From a professional who understands your specific situation.
That's a good point.
So it's a great starting point.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay, so use it wisely.
Use it as a tool.
But not the only tool.
Right.
Okay, so we've talked about some potential criticisms. Now, what are some areas where they could improve or expand in the future?
I think one area is providing more content tailored to specific demographics.
Like we talked about before.
Yeah.
Young adults, families, retirees.
Each group has unique needs.
And challenges.
And they could delve deeper into more complex financial topics.
Okay, like what?
Estate planning, tax optimization, investing in alternative assets like cryptocurrency.
So more advanced stuff.
For those who are ready to go deeper.
And more interactive features would be cool.
Yeah, like personalized budgeting tools, investment simulators, maybe a forum where viewers can connect.
Share experiences.
Get support from each other.
And they could do more to promote financial literacy beyond their channel.
Get out into the community.
Partner with schools, organizations, businesses.
To offer workshops or seminars.
Spread the knowledge.
That's the goal.
Okay, so there's always room for improvement.
There is.
But the Financial Logic channel is already a fantastic resource.
It's making a difference.
And it's exciting to think about all the ways they could continue to evolve.
And empower people to take control of their financial lives.
It's a worthy mission.
It is.
Okay, so before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to the impact of this channel.
The bigger picture.
We've talked about the benefits for individuals.
Right.
But what about the broader societal impact?
Well, when people become more financially literate, it has a ripple effect.
On their families.
Their communities.
And even the economy as a whole.
It's like a domino effect.
When people understand how to manage their money effectively,
they're less likely to fall into debt.
Which reduces financial stress.
And increases financial security.
And that can have a positive impact on their health, too.
Financial stress can be really damaging to our physical and mental well-being.
It's a huge burden.
And so reducing that stress is a win for everyone.
And when people feel more financially secure,
they're more likely to invest in their education,
their businesses,
and their community.
So it creates a virtuous cycle.
It's a win-win.
Financial literacy can be a catalyst for positive change.
On so many levels.
It can lead to more innovation,
More entrepreneurship.
more informed consumers.
And even more.
All right, welcome back for the final part of our deep dive.
It's been a great discussion so far.
We've spent the last 2 parts really digging into the financial logic channel.
Their mission content, the critiques, we've covered it all.
We have. Now I want to step back and think about the big picture.
Okay.
What does a channel like this tell us about the future of financial education?
Well, I think it shows that people are hungry for a different approach.
Okay.
The old ways of learning about money, like those dry textbooks or lectures filled with jargon,
Yeah, nobody wants to sit through that.
they just aren't resonating anymore.
It's like people are craving something more engaging, more relevant to their lives.
Exactly. They want financial knowledge that's accessible and easy to understand.
And the Financial Logic channel is a perfect example of that.
They're using technology and creativity to make financial literacy fun and approachable.
And I think that's the key, right?
Yeah, it has to be enjoyable. Otherwise, people won't stick with it.
It's like we have to break down those barriers that make finances seem intimidating or boring.
Exactly. And I think we're going to see even more innovation in this space.
Okay, like what?
Imagine interactive simulations where you can experience the impact of different financial decisions.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
Or personalized learning plans that adapt to your specific goals and challenges.
So it's tailored to your individual needs.
Exactly.
And what about virtual reality?
Oh, yeah. We could see virtual reality experiences that bring financial concepts to life.
Wow, that would be amazing.
Like the possibilities are endless.
It's exciting to think about.
It is.
But I think the future of financial education is about more than just technology.
It's about a mindset shift.
What do you mean by that?
Well, for too long, money has been this taboo topic.
It's something we don't talk about openly.
Exactly, especially in social settings.
It's like we're afraid to discuss our salaries or our financial struggles.
It's like this unspoken rule.
And that silence can be really harmful.
It can lead to shame, confusion, and ultimately poor financial decisions.
So we need to change that.
We need to create a culture where it's okay to talk about money.
Openly and honestly.
Without judgment.
So it's not this big scary thing.
Right. It's something we can discuss and learn about together.
And that starts with us.
In our homes.
In our schools.
In our communities.
We need to have those conversations.
With our kids, with our friends, with our families.
It's about breaking down the stigma.
And creating a more supportive environment.
Where people feel comfortable asking questions.
Seeking help.
Making mistakes.
And learning from those mistakes.
It's all part of the journey.
Okay, so we've talked about the future of financial education.
We've talked about changing the conversation around money.
What else can we do?
What can we do as individuals to promote financial literacy?
Well, there's so many things we can do. Even small actions can make a difference.
Give us some ideas.
First and foremost, educate yourself. Take advantage of the resources that are out there, like the Financial Logic channel.
Right.
There are also books, podcasts, articles galore.
A wealth of information at our fingertips.
Exactly.
Okay, so educate yourself.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Even if they seem basic.
There's no such thing as a stupid question when it comes to finances.
Okay, so ask questions.
And then share what you learn.
Okay.
Talk to your friends and family about money.
Offer to help them create a budget or something.
Share
Share resources that have been helpful to you.
Spread the knowledge.
It's like a pay-it-forward approach to financial literacy.
That's a great way to put it.
And if you have kids, start teaching them about money early on.
It's never too early to start.
Give them allowances.
Open savings accounts.
Involve them in family financial discussions.
Even in simple ways.
It's about instilling those good habits from a young age.
Right.
And of course, we have to lead by example.
Absolutely.
We make sound financial decisions ourselves.
Be open and honest about our own journeys.
Show others that it's possible.
To achieve financial well-being.
Even if we've made mistakes along the way.
We all have.
It's about being transparent and authentic.
And showing up as our best selves.
It's about inspiring others to take control of their finances.
So it's a combination of education, advocacy, and personal responsibility.
It takes all of us working together.
To create a world where everyone has the knowledge and tools to thrive.
Well said.
It's been a great conversation.
Me too. And thank you to our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into the Financial Logic channel.
We hope you found it valuable.
We hope you feel inspired to take control of your financial future.
Until next time, keep learning.
Keep growing.
And keep diving deep.
And remember, financial literacy is a journey, not a destination.
It's a lifelong process.
So be patient with yourself.
Celebrate your progress.
And never stop learning.
Thanks for listening.